They think he may have killed dozens and dozens of women. But for 15 years, investigators have failed to find a single body. Now, the state cop who was in charge of unraveling David Parker Ray's chilling past is speaking out, explaining why his past may stay buried forever. News 13's Alex Goldsmith has the story.
He was a predator, and he was a very good one, a very intelligent one.
Dozens of women were taken into David Parker Ray's toy box, a trailer turned torture chamber in Truth or Consequences.
You will probably scream a lot, and that is exactly what I want you to do.
Ray tracked those kidnappings in his diary, but what wasn't written was what happened after he sexually tortured them. When Ray died in 2002 and took that knowledge to his grave, it left investigators searching for answers.
We're convinced that there are remains. It's just a matter of locating them.
Rich Leiberser handled the Ray case for New Mexico State Police. He now teaches criminology at New Mexico State. Leiberser still believes at least some of those bodies were dumped in Elephant Butte Lake.
David was very familiar with that lake, and he worked as a mechanic for the state parks. He also had made comments in the past that we know about the best way to dispose of a human body in a body of water such as Elephant Butte Lake.
Investigators have combed the lake over the years, but haven't had any luck. Leiberser says Ray may have made the bodies nearly impossible to find.
Cover them with wire, chicken wire or barbed wire, weight them with cinder blocks or other heavy weights, and sink them to the bottom in the deepest part of the lake.
Evidence of horrific crimes that may be gone for good. Alex Goldsmith, KRQE, News 13.
State police did find bone fragments from a human leg 3 years ago in part of Elephant Butte that used to be underwater. But the medical examiner could not identify it. Police think Ray targeted women who would not be missed, kidnapping them while on road trips to Las Cruces, Albuquerque, and Phoenix.
Holy moly, are we back?
Yeah, we're a little bit late. We're here for you, though.
I think so.
I'm the delicious Nicholas. My mom and dad, they call me Nicholas. My brothers, they call me Dickless Nicholas. You can call me whatever you want, but we're here to do a podcast for you.
And I'm Rob, or as my wife calls me, Robert.
Robert.
Yeah, we went a day late. We almost went 2 days late, but it's cool. We're here.
My girlfriend in high school is 2 weeks late.
You poor thing.
Nothing, a little fucking... Never mind. Anyways, we're really happy to be here with you guys.
Ooh.
As you can tell from the beginning of the episode, we're covering the toy box killer.
This is going to be a rough one.
It's going to be a rough one.
It's sad.
This is all about Ray. And this is...
Ray.
This is from Elephant Butte was the area.
Elephant Butte, yep.
But I'm going to be calling it Elephant Booty for the remainder of this episode.
Butte, booty.
For the people that are going to leave us bad reviews this week to say we don't know how to pronounce shit. I know that it's Elephant Butte, but I want to call it Elephant Booty. And speaking of bad reviews, we got a lot of good reviews this week.
Oh, man, you did a little change up on me there. I was like, ooh, we got some bad ones? I didn't see it.
We got one bad one.
Oh, okay.
This guy, his name's like $$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$$ really illiterate and he misspells stuff and he alternates his capitalized letters and whatnot.
Ah, that's fun.
He left us a review last week and he's like, you guys fucking suck. You used to be good, but now you just talk too much and you're stupid. I was like, okay, that's fine. Because nothing has changed since the first episode. I promise, Mo. But then he left another review this week that said, you do nothing original. And I said, well, what about Nightmare Death Syndrome? No one's ever done that before. What about Disney Darkness? No one's ever done an episode like that before. But in the realm we live in, Rob, there's a lot of stuff that's covered.
Yeah, it's hard to get some original stuff, but I mean, at the same point, I think that even if we do cover something that's covered before, we do it a little bit differently.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So Mo, we love you, buddy. We know you're listening because you've listened enough to gather that opinion of us. So thanks for coming back.
Keep that dick hanging, buddy.
We probably the best pussy you ever had. Speaking of good pussy, we got some Patreon subscribers, and this is a Patreon-sponsored episode. So
hell yeah, it is.
Rob and I didn't reach into the diaper for this one. We had someone handpick this episode. This is Connor Mead's episode. I haven't talked to him. We're probably going to call him last second, see if we can chat with him.
Cool.
He gave us a bunch of different topics. He said, hey, man, just choose what you like. And Connor's been a Patreon subscriber for a long time now.
Right on. Thank you, sir.
Happy we're finally getting to him. This is going to be a fun episode. This is right up our alley.
Yep.
And of all the people that just needs made fun of, this guy's one of them.
Oh, absolutely. He's a piece of shit.
What's his name again? I just call him Toybox Killer.
David Parker Ray.
David Parker Ray. I'd have to imagine if that's what he sounds like.
That's what he looks like, too.
He looks like a fucking cum stain, doesn't he?
He really does.
The nastiest guy. When I used to work in the prison, I'd walk past the shower sometimes. Sometimes there would be child molesters in the shower, and they would just be balled up in the corner with like shit on the floor and shaking in their shower shoes. I'm like,
good.
Hey, what happened to you? And they couldn't speak. They're just like, like, oh, you got raped in the shower, didn't you? Well, see you later. They all look like this guy. Is what they all look like.
They really do.
And the coolest thing about child molesters too is they're tidy. All they had were tidy whities, and they were always really saggy with pee stains. Like they never changed their underwear. Just saggy crotches on their tidy whities. Like so saggy when you got a profile of them, you could see their balls. Just you see bare nut.
No remorse for them.
No remorse here. The Royal Podcast Show.
None at all.
First on our new patrons, I would like to say, Bro Micah Henricks. Bro Micah Henricks, thank you so much for your Patreon.
Thank you, bro.
Your patronage.
Coming up next, we got Christian Calderon. Thank you, Calderon. Thank you.
And we got Bobby Villa. Anytime you're
Bob
down
Villa?
Bobby Villa, anytime you're down there at the Villa, you're either gonna end up fighting or gonna end up fucking. So either way, we're gonna be having a good time down there at the Villa.
And then after Mr. Villa, we got Brittany Phillips. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brittany, for having faith in us to give us money every month.
Thank you.
Christopher Teeny Weeny Sweeney. Rob put in there Teeny Weeny when I wasn't looking.
Sorry.
So Christopher Sweeney. The new nickname's Christopher Teeny Weeny Sweeney.
We don't know if it's teeny weeny, but
it's probably not.
It's probably not. It probably puts ours to shame.
We ate a lot of paint chips as a kid, so ours didn't exactly grow like a normal person's.
And next we got Evan Champion.
And if you're listening, Evan, I wrote you a Facebook message about, I don't know, a month ago. I have your shirt. I need your address.
Jesus.
Where to send it. So
come on.
Accept my message request and let me know your address, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris Lautner. We got a lot of thanks for you, Mr. Lautner. Thank you so much.
And last, but definitely not least, I'm going to mess up this last name, but it's okay. Jonathan Kua. He
gave us a PayPal donation. You can send us a PayPal donation.
We appreciate it.
Directed at Brohio Podcast. We just have to drop a left nut to renew our domain name. That's fine.
Oh, God.
It's all about the business end of it.
Yep.
You feel me?
I feel you.
And if you would like to become a Patreon subscriber, you can hit us up at patreon.com/Brohio Podcast, the $10 club. That guarantees we'll call you on a Patreon episode. We'll talk to you. You'll be on there. All kinds of fun stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Rob?
We'll even talk dirty to you if you want.
Talk dirty to me. Poison was in Cincinnati last night.
Oh, yeah.
So many fucking wasted white girls on my Facebook. Just
40-year-old white women.
Every rose has its... Anytime I hear the word rose, I think a fat bastard. Like, oh, I left a little rosebud in there for you. So I can't hear the word when women say, I just want some roses. Like, yeah,
my wife's maiden name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, she's related to Pete Rose, so it's okay.
Is she really?
She is, yeah.
Never knew that.
Yep.
You know, he got banned from baseball for having sex with children.
I don't think that was the case, but
I can't remember. I'm the biggest Reds fan in the world, but I can't remember. We're going to our roots, all right? Our nappy roots. We always used to start with a good old-fashioned shit story.
A good old news story.
And I have a shit news story, so here we go. This is maybe the one thing worse than having poop rain down on your car, while your sunroof is open. That's what happened to Susan Allen of British Columbia as she drove with her family on May 9th near Kelowna International Airport, reports the CBC. We were inundated with poop, she says. I had it in my eyes, my hair, and in my mouth, says Allen, who was later diagnosed with conjunctivitis in both eyes for the CBC.
Holy shit.
In Vancouver Sun. My son threw up instantly. There's just poop flying to the fucking sunroof. Close your goddamn mouth when you're... A driver in next car next to her is then pointed to the likely culprit, a low-flying plane.
Oh, no.
It's funny that he saw it up there like, I see where the shit's coming from.
It's an old crapper tank.
Transport Canada has launched an investigation, and reports of Allen's experience have left other people to come forward to describe similar incidents. Less than half a mile from where Allen was hit, a man reported poop falling on three vehicles on May 12th. A woman also reported poop hitting 5 vehicles in Abbotsford,
Holy shit.
British Columbia
Literally.
on May 10th, reports Kelowna's Castanet, whatever the fuck that is. While it isn't commenting on the specifics of the case, Transport Canada says it takes all reports of possible debris coming from aircraft very seriously. That's not a peanut, that's space peanut. It adds that a valve malfunction. Yeah, that's what I had, a fucking valve malfunction when I'll get to that story in a second.
Okay.
They caused a plane's sewage tank to leak, resulting in the waste freezing to the outside of the aircraft. As the plane descends, the goo melts. If it started as being kind of a popsicle on the bottom of a plane, then it can easily thaw and become liquid as it comes down, explains an environmental scientist. Though some have pointed to alternative explanations like birds.
What color was it, obviously?
There's no way in the world there's a bird that could crap that much, one eyewitness tells The Sun.
It's a fucking pterodactyl.
It's fucking Jurassic Park just got the fucking door kicked in.
Well, obviously, if it was white, and you knew it's going to be a bird, but
oh man,
if you got big old Lincoln logs falling from the sky,
there's a difference. Like you get a little bit of bird poop, you're like, but if it's a human turd falling from the sky, you're like, God damn.
I got shit on when I was younger by a pelican, and that was a lot of poop. I was covered.
I can imagine. I got
Florida summers.
My mom and dad got pooped on by a lizard there, the Caribbeans. Now, back to the toilets and stuff. I had 2 unfortunate experiences this week at work. One, earlier in the week, I was going to the bathroom. I sat down for number 2 real fast, and I knew something felt off. My wiener got like curled up like a dog turd right in front of me. Okay, so apparently my urethra, my whatever the pee hole is.
Yeah.
What's the scientific term for a dick hole?
It's urethra.
Okay, we'll go with that. But that was lined up with the crack in between the toilet seat.
Ooh, yeah.
And the toilet bowl itself. And then anytime you try and poop, I don't know if I'm the only person in the world that experiences this.
Poop and pee?
At the same time, you got to exert the force to get the turd out. I eat like a dock worker, like a lumberjack. Like a lumberjack crew is how I eat. So I got to push really hard, Rob. I got a lot of fiber in my body. It helps, but it doesn't. I eat a lot of cheese too. When you push, it makes the pee come out harder. Yeah. And then when the pee started coming out, it was right in that crack, and it started shooting out of the front of the toilet. And I thought I pooped so hard that I broke the porcelain. That there was that something really unfortunate had happened. But no, it was just that I guess my wiener was so twisted up in a way, and I know it felt off too. You know, when it's just not working like it's supposed to.
That's happened to me before too, so you're not the only one.
Okay. And I've had another this is not what I'm talking, this is not my next story, but I've had it where I've got it trapped in there so tightly that it doesn't pee like it's supposed to, and then when I stand up, it takes all the pressure off. Yeah. And it just starts going everywhere.
Yep.
Like you piss all in your underwear while you're...
Yeah, I do that. That happens to me sometimes if I'm standing at a urinal and I just unzip my fly, and I don't have, like, some of my boxers don't have the flap in them, so I got to pull my waistband of my boxers down. Yeah. And then, like,
very familiar.
I'll let my waistband go back up, and I can feel a quick little boop, just a quick little spurt, and I'm like, oh shit,
a little pee dot.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't get it all out.
You walk back in the office, and the boss is like, hey, you got a pee dot. You need to get the fuck out of here until you get that pee dot cleared up.
Like, yeah, thanks, Kevin, you fucking dick.
God damn it, Kev. And the next incident, I've told you before, I don't like using the bathroom with other people. It very much bothers me. Right, I can't do it. And there was one day I tried to go to the bathroom 4 separate times, and people would walk in. As soon as I sat down, I'm like, nope, pull it up.
I'm the same way.
I get out of there. But then I got in there, and I started to get into it a little bit, and then someone comes in, and there's 4 stalls. I'm in the one closest to the wall. I'm thinking, all right, this guy is not going to sit right next to me. Lo and behold, he sits right next to me, so fucking close that our fucking shoelaces touched for about 6 seconds. And I looked, I'm like, goddamn, motherfucker, what you doing up in there taking a shit next to me, boy? Goddamn, and you taking your big old dragon shit up next to your boy, Delicious Nickalicious, all up in there, motherfucker. And he was wearing some fresh ass J's.
Hey, can't hate on him for that.
I stood up and I took a shit right on his foot. No, I'm just like, I started gagging and stuff because to try and make him get out. Started making a lot of weird noises. And then the dude I learned this in prison. You got it when this situation does occur. You have to perform a courtesy flush. And if you're not familiar with the courtesy flush, that is the second the fecal matter leaves your butt, you spin around and you flush the toilet, so the stench never makes it to the air. That's called a courtesy flush, Rob.
Yes, it is.
And this guy said, no way, mother. Goddamn, I'll take me a big old dragging shit up in this motherfucker right next to this dude. He gonna smell my shit. I was up eating hot wings and collard greens and peanut butter sandwiches. He gonna smell my shit today. And that's what he did. He made our shoelaces touch. And he made our smells touch. And it was very awkward when we came out. And he was wearing sweatpants, so I know he was comfortable. I did see that.
Good for him.
Didn't see his face.
No shame in the sweatpants.
Did see he was wearing sweatpants, so I wasn't too worried about him, Rob.
Good for him.
Wasn't too worried about
Good
him.
for him.
Dog. If you think you like the Brohio Podcast Show, the best
I don't
thing
know why you would.
right? We've just turned you away. You can tell your friends about us. That's the absolute best thing you can do for us.
Do warn them that we talk about poop a lot, though.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
My apologies.
We're kind of immature.
And one other thing you can do is you can leave us a review on iTunes.
If you haven't already.
You can be like $$, $$, $$, $$. You can leave us a bad review, or you can leave us a nice review.
You'll get a sticker that way, at least.
You get a sticker. So let's
All right, we're saved now.
Yeah, we're saved. David Ray Parker.
David Ray Parker.
Everybody.
David Parker Ray.
David Parker Ray. Everybody in the United States of America has an uncle named David Parker Ray. David Ray Parker. What is it? David Ray Parker?
David Parker Ray. Ray's his last name.
We gonna call him DPR. We gonna call him DP for sure.
DP?
We gonna call you DP, my little motherfucker.
Our dude DP. Well, this
I don't know anything about DP, Rob. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, let's go into it a little bit. This piece of fucking work. He was born in Belen, New Mexico. You know, Bellend is a term for your dick. Yeah, okay.
Bellend. Oh, Bellhead. It's Bellhead. Bellend.
Yeah. November 6th, 1939. He is suspected of torturing and murdering upwards to 60 people. And this is in Arizona and New Mexico in the United States and of America.
And I would like to say, as a precursor to this episode, Rob did most of the research. So you're pretty much going to get a really trashy version of Nickalicious. We're going to make fun of this guy for an hour.
Yeah.
And he was born in 1939.
Yeah. And we will also, some of the subject matter is pretty intense.
Oh, yeah, it's a little touchy.
So this is no pun there.
If you are a
that's a
victim
bad-
of rape
bad
or
joke.
domestic violence, this might be a little rough for you. So if you want to turn back, you can check out one of our other episodes. If you do stick around,
Yeah.
we are sympathetic to the fact that people have gone through this. There are people out there going through this, and there are outlets to where you can get help. So keep that in mind.
We're going to try to be completely honest with as much as we,
we're not going to make up
time.
stuff like we normally do in all the other episodes. We're going to tell you all the truth.
Yeah, and also not going to, sugarcoat it a little bit either. So, anyways, David Parker Ray, he was born to parents Nettie Ray and Cecil. They were a poor family. They lived with Nettie's parents. Cecil.
Nettie?
Yeah, Nettie.
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to netty all over your butt right there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes all day, I get up in there, get a little excited up in that booty, and then I bust a little bit of netty up on your rear end right there. You know what I'm saying?
Bust a netty on your titty. Now, Papa Cecil was a complete piece of shit as well. He was a drunk and very abusive to
I resent that statement.
to David and his sister as well. Now, Cecil ended up leaving the family when David was about 10 years old. They ended up divorcing, and after the divorce, David and his younger sister Peggy were sent to live with their grandparents.
What a bunch of fucking trashy names.
I know. They were sent to live with his grandparents in Mountain Air, New Mexico. Their old grandpappy, Ethan Ray, was a pretty strict guy, and he was a drunkard too. Yeah, he expected these kids to pretty much mind every single rule that he had. He was very strict, very controlling, and if they didn't, they would be physically disciplined.
Go give me the switch off the tree.
Oh, that was the worst.
You ever been hit with a switch?
Oh my God, yeah.
My parents never hit me. And
my grandparents did with the switches.
If people listen to this podcast, they would have to pick out which one of us were beat as a kid. They would probably definitely pick you because they're like, that Nick, he just says what the fuck ever.
Yeah, I was definitely beat as a kid.
Sorry. I'll pray for you.
It's okay.
My mom's been listening to the podcast more too, and she's like, what's wrong with she's not singling me out. She says, what's wrong with you too now? It's not just me anymore. It's
just because we feed off each other.
I know.
We're horrible.
I'm sorry you got beat, Rob.
It's okay. Nothing we can do about that now. I think I'm all right.
All right.
While at school, David was I'm just going to call him DP here. DP was often bullied. He was the tall, skinny, strangly kid. He was
got me a big old dick though.
He was bullied a lot due to him being very quiet and shy.
He was not very good around the ladies.
Nah, he just had an overall very hard time fitting in anywhere he was.
When I was in school, the kid that was really quiet and kind of, you didn't know much about him, that's the one the girls wanted to know the most about.
Hey,
that's kind of how that worked.
Yeah.
I sure would like to see his snake, if it's a big old snake or if it's just a little shitty kitty snake. What kind of snake is in there? Show me your snake. Show me your
shitty kitty.
Show me your snake, DP.
Poor DP.
No.
No, not poor DP.
He dead.
Yeah, he's good fucking riddance. Now, growing up, he was still in contact with his drunkard father, Cecil. Now, Cecil was trying to be a good dad and supplying his son with some magazines, some porno mags.
Now, you said like they stayed in contact, and he was a drunk, so I got this really quick image of DP calling his dad and the phone ringing, his dad picking up a flip-flop because he's drunk and just answering the flip-flop and not the phone. Hello. God damn it, hello.
Damn it, Cecil, you got your flip-flop. You got to pick
phone
up the phone.
Smells like toe jam and hooker spit. Get it? Oh, that's my sandal.
And this is actually where DP gets introduced to sadomasochism from his own dad.
Please do.
From porn. And
I honestly, I'm not trying to be a funny guy right now. I don't know what sadomasochism is. Can you?
You're going into whips and chains. And
okay, I thought that was like BDSM.
Same. That's
okay.
That's the S.
Oh, okay.
The SM.
I didn't know. I thought like butt sacks, dicks, and men or something cool like that. Butt sacks.
That'd be butt sacks. That'd be a lot cooler. And so also, while getting into sadomasochism during
butt sacks, dicks, and men.
he would practice. He would do all the sadomasochist watch. Look at the porno mags, and he would draw up pictures, and he would drink a lot of alcohol and use lots of drugs. So
you wouldn't believe how hard it is to draw a pussy with a crayon.
Especially when you got like yellow ones. You just got a bunch of yellow
Who
crayons.
keeps losing all the black crayons? That's true, isn't it? Now I'm a full grown man now. I'm 30.
Can't talk about pussies and losing crayons.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
sure you can. Now, as a full grown man, I'm cleaning the house. Every time I throw away a black crayon, I'm like, this is how it happens. Because when you're a kid, you can never find the fucking black crayon.
Yeah.
But now
you could always find the white one, the one you'd never want to fucking do anything with.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I look for black crayons and I fucking throw them out in the yard just to rid this house of black crayons.
So Bon, you got him drawing. He's drawing. He's creating pictures. He's doing all this.
Cool if I hang this butthole in the refrigerator.
Pretty much displaying all of his sadomasochism, and eventually his sister actually ends up finding all of his drawings and things.
Hey, I couldn't help but notice that
looks like my butthole in that picture.
Why you got a bunch of pictures of my nipples and crayon in there for? Nasty little shit.
Just thinking about him drawing in crayon is fucking hilarious.
Are you into sadomasochism? What's going on with you, DP? Now, once DP graduated high school, he ended up becoming an auto mechanic, then later joining the Army as a mechanic as well. And he eventually was honorably discharged. Unfortunately. Yeah, I didn't see what the reasoning was for the discharge, but I wish he would have been shot in Vietnam. That would have been great. He ended up marrying and divorcing a total of 4 times, and he had 2 kids, I believe. Yeah.
I know he had a daughter for sure.
Not a very lovable guy to say that.
No.
I know there's a lot of lovable people I've met that have been married and divorced 6 or 7 times. I'm just kidding. It usually means you got some shit wrong with you if you've gone through 6 or 7 of them, you know.
Hey, who are we to judge?
You got to keep throwing shit at the wall until it sticks.
Now, for DP, it's believed that he actually began killing sometime around the 1950s when he was a teenager.
Right.
When he was really getting into his drugs and his alcohol and figuring out that he was really into the extreme sex and the acts that go along with that. He was really developing, and he pretty much became a pretty much fucked up person.
The one thing that I know, I'm not a fan of DP, and I don't like what he did. All right.
Yeah.
But there's no bodies on this case. All right. A lot of time we have victims here, obviously, but normally when we're talking true crime, we're talking about dead bodies. We're letting the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah.
And not in this one.
No bodies, no crime.
No. There's definitely some crimes committed.
Yeah.
For certain. But DP did a dexterous job of getting rid of the bodies. If
Plus
there
one
were
for
bodies.
the Dexter connection there.
Right. Good show.
Yeah, very good show. So going back to that it believed that it began killing sometime around the 1950s. See, we know this because he told one of his fiancées that the first victim that he claimed that he had murdered, he said back when he was a teenager, he tied her to a tree and then tortured and murdered her. So it's believed that we're going all the way back to teenage times.
Oh, DP.
Old DP, piece of shit. So from here,
you got to think about like the turning point for him. Was it when his dad gave him those magazines that that sent him down the road that he was eventually going to go down, or what? That's one thing I find fascinating about serial killers is what point in their life is it just like,
yeah,
this is how I'm going to be and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm sure that he was probably conditioned from a young age due to the abuse, the physical abuse and the alcohol abuse from his father.
It kind of gets worse.
Yeah, I'm sure that growing up, and I think I wasn't born in the 30s, so I don't really know. Those were harder times.
Not this time, I wasn't.
Harder people back then, you know what I mean?
I feel you, dog. Rock hard.
Rock hard. So, I mean, I think that his upbringing probably did have a lot to do with it, and then he was probably a couple screws loose anyways.
Few fries short of a happy meal right there.
Yeah, and I'm sure him seeing his dad getting drunk and beating the fuck out of him all the time, that didn't help at all.
Oh, man. Yeah, still, I'm just like, man, at what point do you say, all right, I'm going to kill people, I'm going to fuck people, I'm going to kill them? I just want to know. I wish we were a better podcast where we could get on, like, doctors and stuff.
You like psychologists and stuff?
I think probably get my foot doctor to come on here, honestly. He seemed like a really nice Guido. Hey, bros. I hear you need a doctor on here. I just cut ingrown toenails out of this fat fuck's feet about once every 2 or 3 months, but I could talk to you about doctor stuff. You want to talk about doctor stuff?
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. So going from here, we have the big, pretty much what, from the time he's found to the time, or from the time he starts murdering until the time he's caught, there's kind of not a lot of details. I think whenever he was actually tried in court, it was only over 3.
It was over 3.
Only 3 people witnesses, and it all stems from Cynthia Virgil. Now, Cynthia Virgil at the time was 22.
I looked her up on Facebook. I couldn't find her.
I can imagine.
Okay.
This is March 22nd, 1999. So this goes 99. That's not that long ago.
I had hair on my balls in 99.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I had some.
That's, less than,
That's two decades.
2 decades ago, yeah. So this is in Elephant Booty.
Elephant Butte. B-U-T-T-E.
Elephant Booty.
We gonna call it Elephant Booty, though.
Cynthia is a pretty much
she's a hooker.
She's a prostitute. She's a sex worker. She
Hookers
manages.
Let me tell you something, dude. Hookers don't like being called hookers.
No, they don't.
I mean, you probably dealt with because you worked at the county jail, so you probably dealt with a lot of hookers.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people brought in for prostitution.
whenever I used to work security at the strip club, there would be, prostitutes that would kind of stroll by. That's an easy pickup right there. Get a guy coming out of the strip club with a rock hard weenie, and I would say, at the time I wasn't very street savvy. I didn't know how to talk to people on the street, so I'd just be like, "Hey, you hookers need to get out of here."
Oh God,
We're not hookers. We're street ladies. We're ladies of the night.
ladies of the night.
All right.
That sounds so much better.
Yeah.
So, less than 20 years ago, Cynthia Virgil escapes from the home of David Parker Ray. She escapes bloody, naked, and with a metal choker collar padlocked around her neck. She runs out of the house, spots another mobile home, and runs inside.
Sounds like a fancy neighborhood they live in there.
This whole scene plays out like a fucking movie. She tells the people inside the house inside the mobile home, I don't want to church it up there. She barges in, tells what's happened. They call the police. Now, when police arrive, she tells them that a man and a woman had kidnapped her for 3 days and had been raping and torturing her with whips, medical instruments, electric shock, and other various instruments.
God damn.
She told them that she had met the two in Albuquerque where she worked as a prostitute. The man had offered her $20 for a BJ in the RV.
Hey, that's not a bad rate for back then. $20.
That's not.
I know you can get a lot done in Dayton for 10, but I don't know what the prices were like at Elephant Butt. But
yeah, I'm not sure what the going rate is. I'd have to ask.
And you left the part out where during the struggle.
Yeah, I got it.
You're going to get to it?
I'm going to get to it.
Okay, I just want to make sure there.
I backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So
sorry for me coughing too. I'm really sick. That's kind of why we missed yesterday.
we're picking up.
I'm terminal.
I'm picking up the ball here. Now, $20 for oral. We're there. When she got into the RV, a woman was inside and helped old DP there tie her and gag her, and they put a metal collar around her neck.
Oh my!
They drove for about an hour. When they stopped, she was dragged into the trailer, chained to a bedpost, where they left and played an audio tape. Okay, so this audio tape.
This goddamn audio tape.
I have a little bit of a transcript of it. It might take me a minute because it's kind of long, and this is maybe a quarter of what the audio tape was.
There's no official, they never released
the audio.
Official audio of this tape, but
there's transcripts.
You can find a lot of stuff of guys on YouTube with really creepy voices. If you go to our closed group, the Ohio closed group, Butt Chuggers Anonymous, there's lots of creepy guys in there too. If that's what you're looking for, is a creepy guy.
They'll read this list to you here in probably better voice than what I'm getting ready to.
Exactly
let me take a swig of beer here real quick, wet my whistle before I get into this long-winded.
All right, do it.
All right. And keep in mind this is a little graphic as well, so
very fucking graphic. All right.
Yeah, I don't want to say a little. It's pretty bad. So imagine being kidnapped. You wake up, maybe you're inebriated. Could be blindfolded.
You could be a little fucked up because
they drug people.
Yeah,
so
he did use injections of some type to. I don't remember exactly what kind they were, but he would knock people out with this shit.
So this is straight up jigsaw stuff right here.
And this is what scares me is me going maybe one night my wife and I get in a fight and I go to the bar by myself, because that's the only way I would go to the bar by myself is if I was in a really bad spot. Mm-hmm. And some guy walks by and says, "Man, look at the apple bottom on that guy." Takes one look at my sweet cheeks and says, "I got to have me some of that chocolate." And he buries a syringe full of Benadryl in my neck, whatever these people use.
Yeah.
And then I wake up in a trailer somewhere, and hopefully it's got a good weight capacity, because once you start throwing this ass around, you're asking for trouble, because when you smack the rolls, these waves don't stop, right, baby? I'm worried about something like that happening to a guy like me, Rob.
I don't blame you.
I know.
Your prize catch.
Yes, it is. I know.
So here's what the audio tape you would hear when you first woke up. "Hello there, bitch. Are you comfortable right now? I doubt it. Wrists and ankles chained, gagged, probably blindfolded. You're disoriented and scared too, I would imagine. Perfectly normal under the circumstances. For a little while, at least. You will need to get your shit together and listen to this tape. It is very relevant to your situation. I'm going to tell you in detail why you have been kidnapped, what's going to happen to you, and how long you'll be here. I don't know the details of your capture because this tape is being created on July 23rd, 1993 as a general advisory tape for future female captives. The information I'm going to give you is based on my experience dealing with captives over a period of several years. If at a future date there are any major changes in our procedure, the tape will be upgraded. Now, you are obviously here against your will, totally helpless, don't know where you are at, don't know what's going to happen to you. You're very scared or very pissed off. I'm sure that you've already tried to get your wrists and ankles loose, and you can't. No, you can't. And no, you can't.
DP.
Now you're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. You probably think you're going to be raped, and you're fucking sure right about that. Our primary interest is in what you've got between your legs. You'll be raped thoroughly and repeatedly in every hole you got. Because basically, you've been snatched and brought here for us to train and use as a sex slave. Sound kind of far out? Well, I suppose it is to the uninitiated. But we do it all the time. It's going to take a lot of adjustment on your part, and you're not going to like it a fucking bit. Not a fucking bit.
Oh, man.
Take a breath here. Whew. But I don't give a big rat's ass about that. Always the flatterer there. It's not like you're going to have any choice about the matter. You've been taken by force, and you're going to be kept and used by force. What all this amounts to is that you're going to be kept naked and chained up like an animal to be used and abused anytime we want to, any way that we want to. And you might as well start getting used to it, because you're going to be kept here until such time as we get tired of fucking around with you. And we will, eventually, in a month or two, maybe 3. It's no big deal. My lady friend and I have been keeping sex slaves for years. We both have kinky hang-ups involving rape, dungeon games, etc. We found that it's extremely convenient to keep 1 or 2 female captives available constantly to satisfy our particular needs. We are very selective when we snatch a girl to use for these purposes. It goes without saying that if you have a fine body and you're probably young, maybe very young, because for our purposes, we prefer to snatch girls in the early to mid-teens, sexually developed but still small-bodied, scared shitless, easy to handle, and easy to train, and they usually have tight little pussies and assholes.
Oh, no.
That's hard. So,
remember, the stuff we're reading does not directly reflect the thoughts and feelings of the Brohio podcast show.
Not at all. They make perfect slaves.
We do love tight pussy, though.
God damn it.
Please go on.
Anytime that we go on a hunting trip, oh God, this guy's a fucking dick. If we can find a little teenager, we usually start hitting the gay bars. Oh, Jesus. Look for a well-built, big-tittied lesbian. Oh, my God.
No.
I thoroughly enjoy raping and screwing around with lesbians, and there's not as much danger to them carrying a sexually transmitted disease, and I don't like using condoms. And of course you don't, you fucking DP.
Me neither, though, so, I mean, I'm not mad at him about that.
Also, even though they're a little older, unless they've been playing with dildos a lot, they usually have tight holes between their legs. Okay, and I'm done reading this. So pretty much this goes on. I got a little bit more, but it's a little bit more than I want to read. So
I'm so scared right now.
That, and let me tell you, it only gets worse. That's the easiest part to read. I don't want to read anymore. I have like at least another page of that.
Really?
That's like a quarter of the audio tape. So she was told, all in all, she was told that she was one of many sex slaves, and that if she did not comply with what they were going to do to her, that she would be killed. So,
oh, fuck.
By the 3rd day, she had been cattle prodded, whipped, shocked, and raped with various sex toys, objects, and David, hung her up and raped her himself. On the 3rd day, though, Ray ended up leaving. She was able to get the keys.
I bet he went to Waffle House.
He probably did, or Walmart.
I need soda of God. I did some hash browns with a chili on them. I ain't shit in about 4 days.
Probably went up there to just get a fucking coffee and smoke cigarettes.
Just piss on the floor by the bar. It smells like piss in their dining room. I don't know why.
So Ray leaves. She was able to get the keys. She gets her hands and legs free, and she ends up going to the phone. She makes it to a phone and calls 911. But Ray's girlfriend and accomplice, and this name is for real, I fucking swear, Cindy Hendy,
Hey, Sandy Handy, come here, Shig. Bring me some of that goddamn sweet tea.
This is the kind of fucking people we're dealing with here. Cindy Hendy stopped her from calling 911. The two began to fight, and Cynthia was actually able to grab an ice pick and stab Cindy in the neck, which allowed her to escape. And this is where she, ran out of their mobile home into the other mobile home and got the police. So,
and these people in the other mobile home, they were not. They were good people because they gave her a robe.
Yeah,
I did read that they gave her a robe. Whereas, like, if some naked chick just ran to my house, I'm like, oh,
I honestly would not know what to do.
I would have no idea.
I have absolutely no idea.
Are you here to party? Because I'm a married man. I have children. I'm going to have to ask you to leave, please. This is not.
So Cynthia was able to tell the police where the mobile home was that she came from, but the police actually had already been dispatched there because where she was dialing 911. The 911 hang up. So by the time she told those police, there had already been other officers that arrived at that place. Now, DP and Cindy Hendy were both apprehended.
Cindy Hendy. It says here on your medical record history that your father is your brother. Yes, that's correct. You were looking at the paperwork for Cindy Hendy, correct? That is correct. My father is my brother.
What kind of a name? So they were both questioned.
I can also fit my entire fist in my mouth.
And my ass.
I can also fit it in my butthole.
There we go.
Not my butthole, my butthole.
My butthole. They were both questioned, and they both stuck to the story that Cynthia was actually a heroin addict, and they were helping her detox. They were just looking out for her. But Jesus, that story fell apart, of course, when police searched the property and found what Ray called the toy box, which this is why he's called the toy box killer. The room in which he kept them in, his little playroom, his sex room, he called the toy box. And not only did they find the toy box and everything that was inside of it, they found the audio tapes as well. Yeah. So that's kind of damning.
You guys are just trying to violate my rights. I was trying to cure her of heroin. You ruined it. You're putting her back on the streets. She's going to die. I don't know what his voice sounds like.
I'm sure it's something like that.
I am sure that he probably has really stinky breath, like the coffee cigarette breath.
He looks like it.
And I think it's well documented on this podcast. I fucking hate teeth. And if there's one thing I hate more than fucking teeth, it's stinky breath.
Ugh.
If your breath smells like your Tarzan's retarded cousin Eddie swinging through the jungle, like you haven't brushed your shit in fucking 3 months.
It smells like you cleaned out a litter box with your mouth.
Yeah. What are you doing, buddy? I was over here eating piles of shit. Anyone got a toothbrush I can borrow? I've been chewing on this shit for about 20-25 minutes. I can't.
Old shit tooth.
I can't do shit breath.
Nah, that's the worst. So they found tools for, strictly for torture. They found hand-drawn pictures because, DP's the artist there. They found hand-drawn pictures of his torture techniques with, the restraints, pulleys, whips, and different sexual devices.
Well, yeah, party of two for smoking. We're going to need some crayons, too. We like to draw while we wait for our steak.
They also found a videotape of a woman being tortured by the two. They were, by this point, they had enough to arrest Ray and Hendy and charge them with multiple counts of kidnapping.
And then we're not even covering half the spectrum of what was happening to these girls. I know there's a lot of it left out on the stuff that the transcripts that Rob was reading, but they used to, there's a device where they would, bend these girls over like a wooden type of, like a sawhorse almost. And they would rape the women, but then he would also bring in his friends, and his friends would rape the women, and
his dogs.
He would bring in his dogs, and his dogs would rape the women.
Yep.
But he does say in the transcript that it was his intentions to feed the women very well and make sure that they were kept clean. I don't know if that held true, but goddamn, that would be just I personally have never been raped before. I think it would probably be terrible. I think it would probably be painful. But what those women went through, and that's the thing is he fucked these women up so bad with the medicines, and it was his overall intentions to break their minds down so bad using the trauma to essentially brainwash them and make them think that this never happened. And there was a lot of women this stuff happened to. And after he was captured, they came forward and like, oh my God, I'm hearing the...
Yeah, I'll get into those stories.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I think that honestly, rape in general is probably the worst thing I would say you could probably do.
The most humiliating thing you can do to another human.
And this is,
takes it to another level.
That and another extreme.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy.
And if you are a listener of the Bro Ohio podcast show, just know that we're nasty people, but we would never rape you. We talk nasty things to your ears, but we're not bad humans.
No, raping. I'm not a raper.
I'm not a raper. Unless what happens in this room stays in this room.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm not a raper.
Yeah.
Come here, kitty.
Old puss over there.
She had a kitty. She up there in the corner. She waiting for that snake to come out.
The investigators ended up, they believed that after looking at, they had the video, they had all these tools. There's a gynecologist chair right in the middle of the room.
Oh yeah, they said he spent over $100,000 putting this trailer together,
soundproofing and everything. Just
there was a
piece in it,
a TV screen mounted to the wall, with a feed from the camera where he would make these women watch themselves get raped by him while he was doing the deed. Yeah,
there's a couple things that he has in there that's completely crazy, which I'll get into here in a few. So of course, investigators believe that Cynthia wasn't the only one, and thought that these charges may also extend out to murder. After the information came out about what happened to Cynthia, you just like Nick said, other victims started coming forward. Yeah. The first one that came forward after her was a woman by the name of Angelica Montano. Let's say that.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah. She told police that, she also was kidnapped, raped, and tortured by Ray and Hendy for 3 days as well. And this is going to be kind of a common theme. It seems to be always 3 days. That I think that 3 victims came forward. It was always 3 days that they could tell.
Yeah. And I wonder. I beg the question. I wonder what led DP to let these ones go instead of the alleged 60 that he killed allegedly. What made some of them? Why they were killed and why these weren't. But these women, they're not realizing it happened until way after the fact, until they're so
right.
Maybe he saw like, hey, these girls they're brainwashed and they're never going to remember any of this. So I'm going to kick them free. I'm going to spare their lives. Whereas the other ones, he just couldn't quite break their minds down or
just getting confident.
Yeah.
Could be. So she was tortured by Ray and Hendy for 3 days, but she was drugged and left on the side of the highway in the middle of the desert. So police ended up finding her, but they did not follow up with her complaint.
Right.
Until, once the news broke, she decided to pursue it again.
And I also read that there was 2 vehicles that she flagged down, and when she got them to stop, they're like, no, fuck that. They wouldn't stop and pick her up because they thought she was
just drugged out,
crazed, someone on fucking drugs.
Right.
Out of her mind.
Yeah. And the woman that they found on the videotape, she was actually identified as well by investigators by a tattoo that she had on her ankle. This woman ended up being Kelly Garrett. She was actually a friend of Ray's daughter, Jessie. Glenda is her real name, but she goes by Jessie.
That was DP's daughter?
DP's daughter, yep.
Oh,
now, Kelly had just been married a couple days before she was kidnapped. Jessie took her out to a bar where she had drugged her beer. She tried to leave the bar. Obviously, she could tell something was going on. While she left, she was struck in the head by DP. She was held captive for 3 days, tortured, raped, and drugged, of course. And she was left on the side of the road near her in-laws' house. Because, of course, they knew her. They knew,
right.
all about her. Her in-laws, actually, they assumed that she was just completely drugged out whenever they found her. And they told her that she had to leave and she had to go back to Colorado.
She was a flapper.
She
you need to get out of here, you fucking skank.
She ended up suffering from amnesia, and as time went on, she could slowly start remembering more and more about what happened to her. as you know, more details came out, and she just remembered more from that night about what happened. When in custody, Cindy Hendy turned fast.
Good. That's good.
She turned on Ray on DP.
I love seeing them roll over on one another. When you watch the first 48, and the cops set him down with the person that watched the shooting, like, what do you know? And they're like, I don't know anything. I can probably get you all your jail time to go. All right, here's what happened.
Exactly.
I was sitting there having me a black and mild.
Yep, and she rolls over pretty well. So she goes for a plea deal. If you're not familiar with a plea deal is when you say, you know, I will say that I am guilty of these charges, but I get immunity or reduced sentencing. In her case, it was reduced sentencing.
And you got to feel a little sympathetic for her, because I'm sure that he used the tactics that he used on these women, he used on her, and just fucking broke her down eventually to the point where she says, okay, I need to conform to what he's got going on, or he's going to kill me, or he's going to keep on torturing me. And then he kind of became her most trusted sidekick.
Yeah. She ended up telling the investigators there that Ray had told her about 14 murders that he had committed and where the bodies were dumped. She told various ways that Ray would torture people. We talked about the sawhorse thing. He had a mirror that was mounted above the gynecologist seat where they would have to watch what was being done to them, and as well as the TV. She also gave names of accomplices, including Ray's daughter, Jessie, and a man by the name of Dennis Roy Yancey, who had, according to Hendy, Ray had actually helped kill his Yancey's ex-girlfriend, who was 22 years old. Her name was Mary Parker. Or Marie Parker,
and Dennis also got some convictions out of this as well.
Yeah, he did. Now, Yancey, of course, after she dimed him out, Yancey was brought in for questioning as well. Now, he admitted to being present when Ray and Jessie kidnapped Parker, his ex-girlfriend, where they ended up kidnapping her and taking her to the toy box. After 3 days, Yancey was told by the two to kill her and never speak of it, or else he would be killed. So he strangled her to death with a rope. Crazy.
Yeah.
So Jessie, the daughter, when questioned, denied everything, and she stated that she had nothing to do with her father. So
I mean, at that point, what do? I mean, everything's so fucked up that you say, yeah, I know what was going on. I know it wasn't right, but or do you say, I have no fucking clue about any of this shit?
I don't know. I mean,
I've made a lot of life decisions that have got me to the point where I'll never do anything like this, or I'll never be involved with something like this. So I like to hang my hat on that I'll never have to go through something like this.
Yeah. And going to the sentencing here, Cindy Hendy, took the plea. She was sentenced to 36 years as agreed to in the plea bargain.
Good.
She testified against Ray during his trial.
Die, bitch.
Yancey received 2 15-year sentences for second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
Yeah, he's out. I looked him up on Facebook, too.
Yeah, he was released after serving 11 years, but he violated, looks like he was violating parole. It says, but returned to custody until 2021 after violating parole.
Yeah.
So
he's not on Facebook.
Yeah, he's back in the Slayer. I love how you Facebook all these people. Jessie was found guilty of kidnapping women for sexual torture and was sentenced to 9 years in prison, 6 of which could be served out of prison and on parole.
Okay.
DP was tried separately for each victim.
Found innocent. He's walking the streets today. Is what.
Definitely not. Cynthia Virgil, Angelica Montano, and Kelly Garrett. He agreed to a plea deal. Even with the plea deal, was sentenced to 224 years.
I'm crunching my numbers here, and I feel like if I just play checkers every day and keep my nose clean, I could probably get out of here before we get on the moon. Before cars start flying and shit. I think I can get out of here. And
I think that this story is the entire story itself is pretty sad and tragic, and I think
beyond fucked up.
Probably the most sad part of this is May 28th, 2002. Ray dies of a heart attack while on his way to be interrogated by state police. Yeah. So, 1999, he gets caught. 2002, he dies of a heart attack. So,
but there was a lot of other.
He didn't serve much time.
There was a lot of weird happenings during the trial as well that kind of drug this out. Like the judge in 1996 he postponed the trial. That was there was an alleged murder in Colorado that he thought that DP was involved with, so he postponed the trial, even though it would have changed at this point. It would have changed nothing, and there was almost no evidence at all proving that he was the one that committed these murders. So he postponed it. And then on May 7th, shortly before or during Ray's trial for the Colorado one that we were just speaking of in 1996, Angelica, one of the witnesses that was picked up from off the street, she died of a drug overdose, and she was never able to give her testimony of what happened to her in the toy box. And this seems like one of those things where it wouldn't be hard. I mean, drug addicts fight a tough battle, man. I know there's a lot of demons there, and I've never faced addiction, but I know that that's one thing that can reach out and grab you, and it doesn't let go. And it makes you think maybe he had people working for him on the outside that took her life into their hands and maybe killed her. Something, I mean, definitely something kind of fishy there. But also on May 23rd of 96, the jury selection for Ray's new trial was finally done, and he was charged with 12 counts of kidnapping, sexual abuse, and conspiracy. But then in July, the judge declared a mistrial because the jury couldn't agree on a verdict. Not all of them were persuaded that the victims had been held against their will. So that plays into the fact that, okay, that was probably one of the things that he would lean on in his mind if he ever got caught, as he picked up prostitutes, and that he could portray it as he was paying these women to stay around, that they are obviously people that worked in the sex trade industry, and he could pay them to stay around. And he might have, it seems like it worked there because the judge did declare a mistrial. But then in November of 96, a new trial began, and just a few days into the trial there, the judge passed away, which is, it's kind of odd for just a judge to fucking die right in the middle of the trial.
Yeah, this whole court case is a complete shit show.
Yeah,
it's like one thing after another.
It was, but then he didn't escape after that. They found him guilty, like Rob said.
Yeah, it's
223 years in prison.
It's just crazy that it sucks that after finally getting caught after all that time, and 3 years after he gets caught, he's dead.
You know what? At that point, what more justice could there be than the guy just fucking
I guess
died?
So. At least they found out.
Yeah.
While he was alive.
True. And then in November of 2002, the toy box, the shed, they opened it to the public with the hope that it would help some other victims kind of re-jog their memories, I guess. Then in October of 2011, which is fairly recently, the FBI performed a search of McRae Canyon near Elephant Booty, and they were looking for more victims, which they never found. So
crazy.
It just doesn't stop.
No.
Then February 2012, the Australian Federal Police, they contacted the FBI here in America about a potential victim known as Connie. She'd been mentioned in a letter from a man named Mark that was postmarked in Sydney and was found in Ray's residence after the arrest, but not much more information about that. Now, like we said, he's fucking dead now. He's a piece of shit.
This took a really sad turn.
If we knew where he was buried at, Rob and I would go there and take a big shit on his headstone and waffle stomp it in. Just drive it in there.
My guess is he's probably cremated.
Yeah, I like to put the cream in that mate.
I feel you.
Me, dog. Now, either this is the end of the episode, or we're going to be able to contact our Patreon pledger, Connor.
Hopefully we can talk to him.
He usually writes us. he wrote us in the middle of the night the other night and said, "Hey, what are you lesbians doing?" So I think
that was him.
Probably,
I remember that now.
He's probably a bit of a party animal. He might be sleeping right now and getting ready to wake up for his.
That's a quote too. That's literally exactly what he said.
It is. I woke up for work and I'm like, man, who the fuck is this? I was like, oh, it's Connor. Yeah.
What are you lesbians doing?
Yeah, he's fucking crazy, man. I love him. So
let's try to get a hold of him.
He's funny, but if we don't get a hold of him and this is the end of the episode, we love you guys so much.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All right, we pulled through. We got Connor. Is it Connor Mead or is it Connor O'Kelly Mead or is it just Connor?
I put my middle name in there just to feel more special because a lot of people only do their first and their last. So, but I just go by Connor. Yeah.
And the people here in Dayton that I'm friends with, if they use a really fancy middle name, it's like Nick. Stop hating. Hate the player, not the game. Alexander.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, really badass, like fucking thugonomics type shit. There for the middle name.
That's Dayton 101.
Well, my mom tried giving me that middle name, but it was already taken, so she kind of just stuck with O'Kelly. Since we're not in that kind of area.
That works.
Where do you live at, man?
Wyoming, actually.
Where the
you guys fucking talk shit one time on Wyoming.
Say, what's a Wyoming?
Motherfuckers.
So it's just you and the horse there by yourselves there on the ranch, or?
Yeah, a couple horses.
Wyoming's huge though, isn't it?
Some. It's mainly just fucking land, man.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's about all we got here.
How many days does it take you on the Oregon Trail to get to Walmart?
I was gonna say,
died of dysentery.
Yeah, a couple days. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Oregon Trail game. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I used to play that game when I was fucking 5.
Nick has died from dysentery.
Yes, shitting yourself to death.
Believe it or not, man, here in Wyoming, we actually just now got cars, so it takes a lot shorter than horse now.
It's fucking awesome.
Hey, you're moving up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we did do the toy box killer for you, Connor.
All right, awesome.
That just
I figured that's the one you guys were gonna go with.
Oh,
yeah. How depressing.
That just goes to say how fucked up you are, man. Honestly, it just
hold the fuck up, though. I've noticed that like you guys asked the people, that you choose from, what do you think about this case? And all I seen was that he was a fucked up person, and you guys could probably twist it into something. So I was like, all right. I want to be just as surprised as everybody else.
We called him DP the entire episode.
Yeah. His name's David Parker Ray, or
David Parker Ray.
So we call him
David Ray Parker, something like that.
Yeah. We called him DP for short.
Yeah.
And I told Rob
it's supposed to be short for like deep penetration.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay.
I think we have some listeners that probably are familiar with that. We would try it.
I've been on the page for sure. Trust me.
Now, double penetration, that's another thing.
So you're not familiar with this case at all?
Not even a little. I mean, I read a little bit off of your guys' favorite page where you guys get all your information, Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's where you get all of our research from.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I figured.
No, man, it's a really good one. He actually, they say that he was responsible for around 60 dead bodies, but they never found any of the bodies that he allegedly killed. There was a lot of he did a lot of fucked up shit, but
yeah, he did.
He did a fantastic job of covering up his tracks, and he died from a heart attack before he was actually put in like fuck me in the ass prison. So,
so he never got caught for it then?
He did get caught. He was taken into custody, and he was convicted. He took a plea bargain for like 220 years.
Yeah, this was in 1999, and then he passed away in 2002. So not much longer after.
You said 200 years?
Yeah, he took a plea bargain for
224, 223, something like that. Yeah.
What the fuck was he facing before that?
I mean, I'm sure it was like, it's hard to say. Probably.
I'd say a life sentence for each, probably 100 years for each.
They didn't have aggravated murder on him or anything like that. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they could ever charge him with murder because they couldn't ever find any bodies.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than death, what? 299 years or 400, you're still gonna fucking die in there, right?
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Or you could just make him sit downstairs in my basement with me and Rob, and make him sit next to the cat box while we do this stinky fucking
just
podcast.
Wait for his cat to shit in his hand.
Yeah,
he's the litter box.
Now you guys are recording in the basement at your mom's house still, right?
Yeah, my mom doesn't know it though. I haven't talked to her in about 12 years. No,
Nick's house.
I've got my own house. I've got like a family and stuff. My wife kisses me tongue style sometimes if I'm really good, but
Oh yeah.
I do live somewhat of a normal life. Not very much, but you know, it's
So all this butt chugger stuff's a facade then, or what?
Oh no, me and Rob, we got a lot of privacy down here. We were always putting stuff in each other's asses. This is not a podcast studio. This is a laboratory, Connor. We do a lot of science experiments. We can fit my whole entire fist and 3 of Rob's fingers in my ass. I mean, we could do it right now if we had to.
Impressive.
Yeah,
We have a WD-40
So you guys'
can sitting
pants
up
are
on the
already
ledge.
off, right?
yeah,
You guys'
man.
pants are already off.
Of
I
course.
figured you guys record that way, so I decided to do that. But I'm at work, so I have to do it outside.
Okay, well,
I don't want the cameras to catch me.
we'll settle for that.
You work on a ranch,
all right.
or you work on a ranch, or
No, I work for industrial shit. I don't work for no fucking ranch.
okay.
But I did do some of that when I was younger.
So like an Arby's. You guys got Arby's there?
We do, yeah. No, we have a Wendy's as well.
What
Both
part-
just came in though.
What part of Wyoming are you in though?
Fuck, dude. To be honest, man, I dropped out of high school, so I don't even know my south from my west unless I'm in my car.
What's the closest? Was it? Is it Cheyenne? Is that the big one there?
Oh, I mean, I'm not worried about pinpointing exactly where I'm at. I live in Casper, Wyoming,
Okay.
so it's way better. It's cleaner than Cheyenne. A lot less meth needles, so you don't have to worry about all the crackheads as much.
I literally know nothing about Wyoming.
Yeah.
Same. I just live here.
That's good.
I was gonna say there's not too much to it.
Well, Connor, I appreciate you taking our call, man, and I appreciate. I just want to say thanks for your Patreon pledges, and you know, we like having you along
Well,
for the ride, buddy. So.
Yeah, thank you very, very
Well,
much.
yeah, no problem, dude. I'm a fucking huge fan. I was pretty stoked when you guys told me you picked my episode this time. So it's all honors, all mine.
Well, we appreciate you giving us
But-
a fucked up topic too.
But
But yeah, there's the but.
But so hold up, I gotta let you guys know that you guys have been talking about it for a while, and I just want to let you guys know that I am one of maybe 10 people in the fucking group that wipe while they stand up.
Oh,
So
what
I'll give
kind
you a
of
heads up on that one.
disgusting-
You keep talking about fucking aliens and shit. Yeah, it's fucking fucked up human beings, but I'm somewhat normal
what
too.
kind of disgusting beast are you?
Well, it's easier if you stand up because you can slide more of the toilet paper in your butt. You know
Not
what I
when
mean?
you're-
Like you leave it in there. I leave it in there so that none of the dingleberries get on my underwear. My lady bitches at me because she's the one who does the laundry,
You're not.
like most women should.
You're not. Oh God, I cannot condone that statement. I will direct all complaints to you.
That's why, like I've said many times before, I'm a huge wipe advocate, wet wipe advocate.
Yeah.
I can keep my ass nice and open and get it nice and slick.
I've reached the level of obesity. I just don't wipe anymore. Don't. need it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
wiping. It
Sometimes
brings
I
down
do
the
that when my
rainforest.
paychecks are a little shorter than they should be.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you, man. Get back to work. So
Thanks, man.
All right.
we'll talk to
All
you
right.
later.
You guys have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
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 Well, I'm glad we got to talk to him
Me too.
out there in the beaches of Wyoming.
Peaches of Wyoming.
So, all right, we got it in there for you guys. So, thank you.
We got it in.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys very much.
I love you so much.
We love you.